Hello, everybody. Glenn McDonald here with another Mainline Strength and Conditioning podcast. And today I have a guest, Rebecca Rouse.
Thank
Rebecca,
you so much.
let's hear about yourself.
Sure. Well, how much? What do you want to know? Where should I start?
Where are you originally from?
I am originally from Southern California. I'm sorry to say, but that's the truth. Grew up in outside of LA.
Okay. Oh, outside LA? Yeah.
Yeah, like LA County, beach cities, more along the coast.
So you're a beach girl, huh?
Yes, but no.
Yeah.
I actually don't even. I don't like the beach very much. I never went. It just that's where I grew up. That area.
How because I know didn't you just move from San Diego area to Texas, right?
Yeah, I've kind of been all over the place the last couple of years. My husband's still active duty military, so we've been moving around a bit. But we were in San Diego, and then New Jersey, and then I'm by myself. Went back to San Diego for a career opportunity, and then we ended up building a house in Texas. So that's
nice.
right.
Whereabouts in Texas, if you don't mind?
North Dallas.
Is it like 1,000 degrees there today?
It is right now. It's 96. The high is going to be 108 today. So
I don't.
It's a scorcher.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't like that kind of weather. I mean, I throughout my career in the government, I worked in Louisiana, North Carolina, Louisiana, Mississippi, and it was just scorching in Florida and scorching hot. It's just too much. Thankfully, I never had to. I never got transferred or anything to Texas, because a few times I went to Texas, I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
the minute you walk outside, you're just like soaking wet.
Yep.
Like working in an oven. So, so the backstory, just to let everybody know, the backstory between me and Rebecca, it's kind of funny that I was actually messaging one of the clients at the gym I work at, and her name's Rebecca. So I just said, hey, I'll see you Tuesday. And when I messaged, I accidentally hit Rebecca Rouse's name instead of Rebecca from the gym. And she's like, what are we doing Tuesday? And I said, I'm like, kind of a weird moment, but
hey,
it worked out, right? It worked out good. So
yeah, crazier things have happened on Instagram.
yeah. At least it was only that. That was it.
Yeah.
So so whereabouts? So you're in Texas now?
Yes.
Okay. And you run a company called Semper Stronger, right?
Correct.
It's you and your husband, right? But since your husband's on active duties, I know how busy he was. I'm a former Marine for 6 years, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I wasn't an officer, but I was. It was that came first pretty much all the time. So.
Yep, he helps me. He does a lot of the stuff on the back end for the business. Right. I do most of the client and customer facing stuff, and all the fitness programming and all of that. That's what I do most of every day. But he helps build the website, and he does all the technology related stuff and kind of the infrastructure of the business. So we're a good team.
So is he doing the hard part or the easy part?
Depends who you ask. I think he does the hard part, but he would say I did the hard part.
No, I don't want that part. Not at all.
No, it's great. He has a vast skill set, but that's what he does in the Marine Corps. He's a communications guy, so it kind of carries over a little bit. He's really good at troubleshooting and fixing all the general's technology that seems to break every day. So,
how's your client base going for your company?
It's good. I mean, I have my own personal clients that I train. Everything we do is online for the most part. But our business is online. I have a couple clients that I train here in person that has just kind of found me locally, but the business itself is all online. We are a business that's based around strength, obviously, hence the name Semper Stronger. So, we attract different types of people with different fitness goals and people all over the world. That's the beauty of having an online business. But I think the common thread that unites everybody that finds us and stays with us is that they want to be strong. Strong for life is our motto. So strong for all of life from now till forever, and then strong for the inevitable challenges that life will send our way, because they are coming and they always will. So it's kind of a twofold scenario there. But
what kind of certifications do you have?
Me personally? So I've been a certified personal trainer since 2013, and I recently got my tactical strength and conditioning certification as well. So I'm starting to get into more tactical athlete training for law enforcement, military, firefighters, et cetera, first responders. I also have the Strong First Kettlebell Level 2, USA weightlifting for Olympic lifting, precision nutrition for sports nutrition, And I've done a little bit of smaller certifications for like trigger point therapy and pre and postnatal training. This is kind of a long time ago, but I'd say my focus right now is I do a lot of kettlebell training and just general fitness strength training for the average person, but also trying to get more into the tactical athlete realm as well.
Now, are you talking like as far as like a tactical games athlete, or more like a professional person in that profession?
The latter. Tactical games is kind of its own thing. My husband's actually training for that right now, but which I think is awesome. I think it's a great thing that they even offer that sort of thing for people, whether they're in the field or not professionally. But anyways, that's another conversation. But yeah, I really would like to work with tactical athletes who that's their day-to-day. They're on duty, whether that's military here or abroad, firefighters, law enforcement, first responders. I think that the training across the country, it varies so much from city to city, state to state, department to department, as far as what resources they have available and the training that they get or don't get. And I think, as we were talking before we started recording, it's just so critical for the people that are serving our communities and our country on a day-to-day basis. Like I can't think of a population that really truly needs to be fit and understand the value of human movement, quality movement, injury prevention, nutrition, sleep, recovery, like all of those things. And there's such a need for it across everywhere. So I feel really called to do that.
Well, I think like talking on that, I think knowing, 28 years in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, I worked, and I worked through 9 different facilities throughout the country, seeing just the different, and I used to be that guy. I used to be the big fat nasty guy that didn't do anything because, we're always at work. And that's one thing about, law enforcement, police or corrections, whatever you want to label that as, we're always at work. And when you go to work, sometimes you get stuck. Sometimes you're there 16, 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
It was tough. And throughout those years, not being physically fit, I was just like, man, I'm dying here. I'm like, it would just suck going to work because you were just so tired all the time and eating like crap, just feeling like crap because you have no mobility, nothing. And running to different incidents, things like that. I noticed that I was like, yeah, I got to do something like real quick. And I jumped on that pain train, and, I know you're a huge fan of kettlebells, and I am too. I love kettlebells. They just actually absolutely destroy you if you do them right and you do the workouts that you can find anywhere. I mean, they just make everything good for you. You want to talk about some of your kettlebell workouts that you have?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. So kettlebells are, even though I'm a competitive weightlifter, so I do a lot of barbell training for myself and my own fitness. I'd say when it comes to coaching, my specialty is kettlebells. I love coaching kettlebells. I love the versatility of kettlebells, the portability of kettlebells. You can take them anywhere. You can take them on deployment. You can take them to the station, whatever you got to do. And you will really only need one. If you're lucky and have 2, great, but you can get so much done with just one kettlebell, which is why I'm a big fan of it. Obviously, that said, there's a lot of technicality that needs to be learned when it comes to using kettlebells effectively. Which is why I'm really passionate about that. There's a lot of information out there on the internet, a lot of good stuff and a lot of not so good stuff. And so I'm trying to put out really high quality programs and workouts and video resources to help people learn kettlebells so that they understand, 1, why to use them, and 2, how to use them effectively. So a big portion of the business that I've created thus far is centered around kettlebell training, kettlebell programming. So I offer in my membership, which is accessible to anybody. We have people in our membership all over the world. We do, I post a workout of the day every single day, it's always a different workout. It's a kettlebell workout. So it's about 20 to 25 minutes, different skill levels. And then I also have longer term programs. So anywhere from 6 to 12-week programs that involve kettlebells. Also programs that are multiple modality programs, body weight, mixed modalities, things like that. So a little bit of everything, but definitely a big focus on kettlebells, mobility, stability, strength, endurance. There's so much you can do with them. And so that's a big portion of what I offer. Yes.
If some of the listeners, I know some guys out there, I've actually put them through some hellacious kettlebell training. One of our special operations teams, they're like, oh, that kettlebell is nothing. I'm like, okay, well, find out.
Yeah.
Like here's the workout. You're going to do, it's like 10 kettlebell swings, and then you're going to shoot 10 rounds with a, not qualification, but shooting weapons with, while swinging that kettlebell. And that's a big change for him.
Yep.
You know, doing goblet squats with a kettlebell, Turkish Get Ups. Like that's probably one that I love a lot is a Turkish Get Up, especially for for law enforcement. I mean, if think about it, you get knocked on the ground, you got to get up. I mean, that's the way to get up, especially even if you have a weapon in your hand or like an OC or anything like that. It's very practical for law enforcement, firefighters, everybody like that. So
yeah,
really,
a lot of jujitsu practitioners too.
Yeah.
I know they're big on the Turkish Get Up.
Right.
I've done a little tiny bit of dabbling in the jujitsu world, but I want to understand it. There's a lot of carryover between kettlebell training and martial arts, specifically with jujitsu.
Yeah, I tried jujitsu and I probably lasted about a good month in I mean, I'm 53 years old, so I'm not young, and all that joint manipulation, the twists and turns, and whew, it really kicked my ass. It really kicked my ass, but I'm looking to get back into it definitely because I just got over an injury on my wrist that just like the tendonitis just like blew up. So yeah, it's something I got to get back into. It's enjoyable, you know. So something different. Definitely a skill. Definitely a skill. What about as far as what got you into being a physical trainer? I know you're a gymnast because I watched some of your older podcasts and things like that and read your bio. You're a gymnast from the very young age, right?
I was. Yeah, I started gymnastics when I was 3, and I started competing when I was 7, competed all the way up until high school. So when I was 14. So it was a very big part of my childhood growing up. I had a really strong physical base of strength and conditioning just from being a young athlete, and growing up elementary school, middle school, up until high school. It was very, very much an integral part of my life. So I'd say that really laid the foundation for what happened later, which is what I'm doing now in terms of being an athlete and also owning a fitness business. So I guess that's kind of, if we really want to rewind that far, that's probably how I got into it and how I fell in love with just being a strong person, a strong woman, and just prioritizing the strength and the discipline lifestyle that I lead now. It definitely started way back then.
I mean, I know that like you said, like that discipline, that regimented lifestyle like that, it like really sets you up for success later in life, don't you think?
100%.
Oh yeah, because I know throughout the years of working out, being in the Marine Corps, and then working for the government for that long, trying to stay on that path as far as being disciplined all the time, it definitely helps out. Having that regimented lifestyle of not making a workout like it's work to go work out, is a priority. It's part of your day.
Yep.
I always tried to make sure is a part of my day, even in my younger years when I was quite a bit heavier.
Yeah, it's so important.
Oh yeah. Yep. What do you think are you familiar with any like correctional staff, like as far as like what they do and work and how that works? It's kind of like a lot of people, believe that working in a prison, the bad guy comes in, we put him in a cell, turn the key and just walk away. It's not like that at all. I mean, you got to deal physically, you have to deal with them mentally. And that comes back to that mindset. I know you talk about quite a bit as far as having that strong mindset of being able to accomplish just about anything.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know you also have a program on that also, right?
Yeah, we offer it's just a 3-day like mini course. Just I've done a lot of reading and a lot of practice on myself, just in my own journey on mindset, and I've realized through trial and error how important it is. Obviously, being physically strong, which is what we've talked mostly about thus far, so important for what we do, what you do, what I do, and what a lot of people do. But if you are physically strong but aren't mentally strong, I think we're missing a really big piece of the puzzle in terms of maximizing your potential, being able to really push through the hard times and push through adversity and come out the other side stronger and recognize the lessons learned and the opportunities for self-growth. So I think mindset is a really integral part of becoming our best selves. And so I created a mini course, it's like a 3-day email course, so people can sign up. It's free. And it just kind of gives little tidbits of information on how to really like practically apply these mindset tools. Some of it came from like Navy SEAL training. I took this course called Trident Mindset that was developed by former Navy SEALs, and some of the most mentally tough people on the planet have to get through the training that they get through. So, one of the tidbits, the tips is just setting micro goals. So we always think like, oh, I want to achieve this really big goal, but it seems impossible. Whether that's, I want to lose 100 pounds or I want to deadlift 400 or whatever it is. We always think about that outcome. And if we think about just the outcome of where we want to get to, we're probably going to get frustrated, probably quit, because it just seems like this insurmountable task. Yeah. But if we break it down into like the smallest possible goals along the way, like that process to get to that outcome, we focus on just the next micro goal. So, showing up for your workout today. Don't even think about tomorrow. We still got today to get through. Focusing on your nutrition, the next meal, your next night of sleep, like just making those small decisions, because when you consistently focus on those micro goals over time, those add up and they compound on themselves. And so when you focus on that and you forget the big long-term goal, it's always going to be there. It's out in the distance, but just focus on crushing those small micro goals along the way. We're going to get there. And it's going to seem a lot more manageable when we just focus on the small tasks. So that's just an example of one of the things, but I think in any field with any goal, looking at things like that and also prioritizing the mental as much as the physical is so critical.
I think once you start doing any type of physical training, like, kettlebells or the Olympic lifting or, type of functional CrossFit type workouts, things like that, you build that mindset anyways. That's why it's so important. Cause like the workout I did this morning was like, this probably isn't good for the normal person, but I'm going to do it because it's going to really suck. And, I got through it because, I'm tired, a little older than most that are still doing the workouts that I do. And it was tough, but you gotta have that mindset to get through it. Even though, I'm retired, so I don't have to work out anymore. I don't have to do anything, but yeah, you do. Because, just to get through life and just enjoy yourself, you got to be in good shape. You got to stay in good shape.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And it's sometimes, getting into that dark place, whether it's a CrossFit workout or it's whatever, and you name it, it's the more times we expose ourselves to that type of discomfort and that adversity and we come out stronger for it, the more times we prove, the more we increase our threshold for those types of experiences. And that's just slowly how you chip away at the mental toughness thing. And it's so powerful. And like I've been training my whole life, and I think this year, especially having started to compete at a higher level in weightlifting, that has made a bigger difference than anything. The physical training it's required. It's so important to progress in any sport, but the mental toughness and the mental game is what makes champions. And I've realized that for sure through my experiences.
And I noticed, especially during like, the last few years of COVID, the whole COVID thing and what happened to people. And, I don't know if you see it, but people are like kind of like lost their friggin' minds, you could actually say. I mean, driving crazy, going to the grocery stores. It's like, I don't want to go. There's too many weird people out there right now. Yep. And I noticed like I know what I did was when COVID hit was, I was able to work out at work, but the gym that we were going to basically shut down. They were doing like an online program. And the experience I have with programming, things like that, and the type of workouts I do with like things I've learned through GoRuck and my Marine Corps, the small amount of things I learned from there as far as working out and the things I've seen through the past, and just stuff online. We bought a bunch of real high quality equipment for the garage, and we just got after it. I mean, and I'll tell you what, those. What was it, like a year and a half, 2 years, really, that everything shut down depending on where you lived. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got so strong, just from kettlebell. We, make up kettlebell challenges and sandbag challenges and just rucking a ton, just that whole mindset, the whole thing where, hey, we're going to get through this. You're just going to stay healthy, stay strong. You'll be fine.
Yep.
That's exactly how I think that's one of the ways we got through it. So.
Definitely. Yeah. Unfortunately, most people took the other route and they just,
yeah.
Victim mentality. Woe is me. I'm just going to sit around and collect a paycheck from the government instead of trying to make myself better and build something or start something. Like there's really two polar opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of what happened to people or what people did during, I wouldn't even say what happened to them. It's what they chose to do with that time. And a lot of people started businesses, a lot of people, invented things or created things and started podcasts, whatever. And then the other group is people that just sat around and did nothing and just blamed other people and didn't take ownership for their circumstances and their opportunities. And they chose not to make anything of themselves. And that's unfortunate.
I mean, it was so funny. I mean, we had so many different crazy experiences. Like we'd be out working out outside or be on some kind of trail somewhere. And they'd be like, people would be like, where's your mask? It's like, we're outside, it's fresh air. You should enjoy it. Just people just acting crazy. Like you can't be out here like, yeah, we can. It's the world. It's nice. The sun feels good. The snow, whatever the weather was. People were just losing their minds. It was crazy. We had a great time. Learning a lot of new techniques and like I said, with like sandbags and ruck stuff and kettlebells all the time. Like we did a challenge, 30 days of 300 kettlebells a day. Swings. We broke it up throughout the day if we wanted to, but most of the time we just knocked out to 300. That was that got spicy.
Yeah, I bet. You probably built a really good base of conditioning though.
After a few days, that kettlebell is just like, hey, come on, come pick me up, and you're like, nah, I'm good. And our hands were just tore up just from gripping that kettlebell for 300 reps. So. I was actually looking through your social media, and I know you just got done with a Olympic lifting meet, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, I just competed at nationals earlier.
Nationals, right? Nice.
Yep.
And you hit your snatch was a 190?
No, my total was 190.
Oh, total was nice. And what about your clean and jerk?
I hit a 106 kilogram clean and jerk and 84 kilogram snatch.
Oh, wow, that's very impressive. Real good.
I don't know what that is in pounds. 84 is
0.2. So
it's 180. I forget.
180 something.
Yeah. And then the 106 clean and jerk is about 230 something pounds. I forget. Something like that.
That's awesome. How often do you do Olympic lifting?
Every day. I mean, I work with a coach 6 days a week. So it's pretty much, it's a big part of my life. I mean, I run my business, but training is also a full-time job. And that was more recent. I've been training Olympic lifting off and on for a couple of years, but when I moved to Texas, I just by happenstance got connected with my coach who I'm working with now. And he's coached 3 Olympians, and he was 33 years in the fire service here in Dallas and retired. And he's just been coaching Olympic lifting, and he only has a few athletes, but people who are really committed and serious about it. And so I just kind of rose to the occasion, I guess. And he was like, you have potential if you want to take it seriously. I was like, all right, I'm in. Here we are.
What's your goal though? Like, is it just for just stay in good shape, or is it just like you're going to try to achieve a goal?
Not sure yet. I mean, like I said, this is all kind of new. I like the competitive aspect. I competed as a kid when I was a gymnast, and I stopped doing that when I was 14, and I never thought I would be a competitive athlete again. Right. And so, because kettlebells are great, and I use primarily kettlebells for so many years in my training, but there's not really like competition for kettlebell strength. So it never even crossed my mind to become a competitive athlete again. And then I found weightlifting, and I worked with a couple of different coaches as I moved throughout the country when my husband would PCS for work. But so now that I'm here and my coaches helped me get to such a high level, I never expected to even compete at the national level at all. But beyond that, I think I have maybe goals to compete at the Pan American Games if I can qualify. Weightlifting is kind of complicated in terms of how you qualify for the next thing. So after nationals is Pan Americans and Worlds and then the Olympics. So, but because there's so many different weight classes, you basically have to be the best of the best in your weight class and potentially better than people in other weight classes percentage wise. So it's a lot of math, but I don't have specific goals. I don't know that I'm ever going to be Olympic level. I might've missed the boat on that. I'm 31 now, and I'm definitely not going to qualify for 2024. And by the time 2028 rolls around, I'll be 37. So never say never, but I plan on continuing to train as long as I enjoy it and love it as much as I do now, and that my body stays healthy and injury free, because I want to be lifting whether it's Olympic lifting or lifting anything. I want to be lifting for my whole life. And if the sport beats me to the ground so much that I can't do that, and it might be time to hang it up, but we'll see. I don't have specific plans.
That's great though. I mean, that's some good, solid goals though. I mean, just to tell yourself that you're going to keep moving even when you're a little bit older. That's great. 31,
Absolutely.
you got a long ways to go.
Yeah, I got time for sure.
You got plenty of time. Olympic lifting, I really enjoy it too, but I mean, it's nothing I really like pursue every day to get really good at. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm some expert, but far from it. But I really enjoyed those. Good stuff. I love the barbell. I love getting under that barbell. You know, sometimes it hurts so good. And you're just like, oh yeah, that's some serious weight. You know, it feels good.
Definitely. Yeah, I love lifting heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love it. So that's why I do what I do.
Yep. All right. What I wanted to ask you though, what's your favorite? Assault bike or echo bike?
Neither. I don't do cardio. I'm a weightlifter.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. I've honestly, I really don't do that much cardio, specific like sitting on a bike or a row or anything like that, or running. I do sprints once a week, but as far as like using the machines for cardio, it's not something I do right now because it doesn't give me any advantages to my training per se. That's why I do the sprints for power work and speed work, but I'm not doing like long wads on the echo bike or the assault bike. But if I had to choose, I'd probably choose the assault bike. I think the echo bike is pure evil. I have one in my garage, but doesn't get a lot of use, to be honest. So I think they're both pretty evil.
all right. Home gym or Globo gym? Which one?
Home gym for sure.
Yeah. What
I used to think
What do you have now? You have a garage or are you like in a basement type thing?
I have a garage.
Garage?
I built a gym in the garage. Yeah. I mean, I worked at a gym for 6.5 years before COVID, and I enjoyed aspects of it. I do think there's value to working out in a gym where there's like good energy. There's other people around. Depends on who's around you. You know, if they're getting after it and the energy's good, then that creates a really nice environment to want to push yourself. But if it's a bunch of people sitting on their phones or taking selfies, maybe not so much. So, but personally, like as I've gone into my weightlifting journey, I'm very used to just working out alone and putting some music on and just getting into my own head and lifting heavy and being alone. And I love it. I'm at a place now where like the discipline in my training, like it doesn't matter what I feel like doing. If I feel like lifting or I don't feel like lifting, I'm on a program, I have a coach and I have goals, and that trumps everything. It doesn't matter what I feel like doing. I got to get after it. So, once I start moving, it's everything else goes away and it doesn't even matter. So
sometimes that's the hard part, is just starting, right?
100%. That's the hardest, especially if I'm sore or tired or busy or stressed with work. It's like, I don't want to interrupt what I'm doing to go do it, but I have to do it. And I do treat it as like a non-negotiable, unless I'm like sick or injured or something, which thankfully I haven't been, but it's a non-negotiable part of my day. I put it on my calendar like I do my meetings and everything else. So I gotta do what I gotta do because the goals aren't gonna reach themselves.
It's like over the weekend we did a Go Ruck event in Pittsburgh. We traveled up to Pittsburgh to do this Go Ruck event and pretty sore, and actually drove back from Pittsburgh on Sunday, and my girlfriend's like, "Well, you want to work out?" I was like, "Hell yeah, let's go." You know, Monday morning, I'm like, "Oh God, this is gonna hurt," but we got through it. You know, just got to do it. Got to do it.
I think it was David Goggins that said or wrote about like when we all think we're at our 100%, we're really only at like 40. And I really believe that, and I've proven that to myself just through my own journey. Like when I was a lot mentally weaker back not that long ago, really. If I was really sore, I would use that as an excuse or a justification in my head to not push as hard because I didn't think I could. Right. And now I'm on a really high volume, tough training cycle, and I'm super fired up to just keep progressing now that I've gone to nationals and everything. And so I just like, it doesn't matter if I'm sore, my body hurts, whatever. Like that doesn't mean I'm sore, I'm not dead. I can still do it. And so I'm pushed through and my body's adapting really well. And obviously that doesn't, not to say we shouldn't listen to our body, because we should, and our bodies are good at communicating what they need. But I also think that a lot of times we make excuses or justifications to not push ourselves as hard as we could because we think that it's okay to, go 50% or whatever.
Oh, I got all kinds of excuses. What about, what's your, as far as like a garage gym, what, do you have your own Spotify playlist?
I have a couple. I like, depends on what I'm feeling. I have a wide range of music that I listen to, and it depends on the day, but everything from like punk rock to rap to EDM to country, like everything in between.
Everything. Oh, wow.
Classic rock. I like 80s rock a lot. So it just depends.
Yeah, that's great. So what's next for you
For training business or both?
for training?
For training, just continuing to train for weightlifting with my coach. And my next meet is in October. It's a local one here in Dallas. And then January is Texas State. That's in Houston next year. So trying to hopefully be Texas State champ. That'd be pretty cool. And then just continue to train for next year's nationals and see what I can do.
And do they go by weight, or is it by age?
Weight class.
Weight class?
Yep.
What about business? What's next for you for business?
Still working on growing the membership. So we have our membership I mentioned earlier, Semper Stronger Squad, and we got people from all over the world that join us to get access to our workouts and our programs. So working on growing that. Also going probably in the next month or two, going to be working on adding more coaches to our team. Right now it's my husband, myself, and then one other coach that we've brought on. So we're trying to iron out that process and be able to grow our staff of coaches who are able to provide one-on-one coaching and programming services to clients who want a custom programming experience. And then also on a personal level, I want to work more with tactile athletes. So I'm going to be working on designing programs. I'm trying to get my hands dirty a little, if you will, to work with that population locally or wherever I can get those opportunities to train military, fire, law enforcement. And I've got a few things in the works. I'm traveling to New Jersey next weekend to do that. And I did something with Poolies for recruiting station up north here. Nice. Yeah, I did that a couple of weeks ago. So just trying to get some more experience, really understand, since I personally have never served. Obviously, I've learned a lot about what that looks like day to day from my husband. Right. We've been together for 11 years, so I know decently well the military, but as far as fire and law enforcement, not as much. So I just want to really understand what the day-to-day demands look like of their duties, so that I can take my knowledge and the certification that I've gone through for tactical strength and conditioning and create programs and resources to help them better their fitness and their health as they continue on their career and serving their communities.
Nice. What I know researching a few things about you. What you have any recommendations for any books or like any reading that you've done? I know you're a big fan of Jocko, and you're one of his ambassadors, right?
Yep. So big fan of Jocko Fuel. They are one of my sponsors for supplements. They have their Jocko Fuel line of products. So big fan of everything that they're doing on the supplement line and also in their apparel and just manufacturing everything in America. I love what they're about. Jocko himself, amazing human. I love all of his books. I've read them all. Extreme Ownership, I think, should be required reading for every citizen of the world.
Yep. Read that a long time ago. It was really good. Yep.
Yeah. So Extreme Ownership and then the sequel to that, Dichotomy of Leadership. I think
got it right up there somewhere in there. Yep.
Yeah.
Right here. Yep.
Leadership Strategy and Tactics. Yep. That's another great one. And then the Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual. I think everything that Jocko puts out is really, I mean, it's not anything revolutionary. I think the way he presents it, like the concepts are very straightforward and simple, but implementing them is where the hard part comes in, and most people don't.
Oh yeah.
So I think he does a really good job breaking it down into like both strategic and tactical frameworks that you can easily and immediately implement into your life. And it's just like a handbook to living a better life, living a more productive life, a more efficient life.
Yeah.
There's no shortcuts, there's no hacks, but you do these things, you're going to see the ROI is going to be immense. In business, in life, in relationships, in health and fitness, all of the things. So I think he does a good job of, even though he's a Navy SEAL and he comes from a military background, I think what he puts out is relevant to anybody and everybody.
Oh, definitely. Yep. Because I actually used, like I said, a big fan of his for a long time. I used quite a bit of that working in the government too. One of the positions I had was I was a captain. So I was in charge of a specific department where I was basically in charge of all the correctional officers and the supervisors within that department. A lot of the stuff that he puts out, I was putting back out to the leaders to make sure people were doing what they're supposed to do. So, and it worked. you know, some people are, like you said, some people just, they don't want to hear it. But, you know, you did what you could, and you'd adjust fire with them and bring them in for meetings and try to talk to them, just like a lot of the things, the quotes in there, I use the same quotes on them, and sometimes it worked. So it was always good. Yeah, definitely a motivational reading for that, for any discipline, really. Didn't matter what it was. Yeah.
I agree.
Yep. All right. So let's see what else we got. What type of equipment, like, what do you think for like someone who's not in shape, trying to get in shape? What's one thing they could get just to start them off on the right path?
Well, if someone hasn't been exercising or doing anything, I think learning to use their own body weight is first and foremost, because if you don't know how to master your own body weight, doing anything else beyond that is going to be challenging and potentially set themselves up for injury. So I think learning basic body weight movements, I think the functional movement patterns, so squat, hinge, lunge, push, pull, carry, rotate, like doing all those things and learning how to do it without any external load is just the way to build a really strong foundation for any type of fitness that comes later. So that's step one. Beyond that, I think it kind of is personal preference. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased for the kettlebell. I think that having just one kettlebell or a small set of different size kettlebells is a phenomenal tool to get started. And, you know, there's really basic kettlebell movements from goblet squat to a farmer's carry that, you know, you can do a swing, super basic but effective exercises. You can put a program together with just the basic movements in one kettlebell. And then beyond that, you can get fancy with it and do complexes and flows and different types of things. But mastering the basics, I think, is always step one.
Right. What so why don't you tell us how much would it cost for your program? What do you charge?
So it depends what people are looking for. The lowest cost offer that we have is the membership, and we have a silver and a gold. So the gold membership is the best deal. It's $24.99 a month. And with that, you get access to a daily body weight workout, a daily kettlebell workout. Those are both, you know, 15 to 25 minute workouts, plus all of our signature programs. So we've got a library of different programs. Those are 4 to 12 weeks in length and vary in terms of modalities. And so, like I said before, we've got kettlebell programs, we've got mixed modality programs, we've got a running program, we've got TRX programs. We're launching a sandbag program soon. So there's something for everyone, pretty much. If you want to get strong and more fit, then nice. There's a program for you. So at $24.99 a month, you can access all of those programs included in the membership. We do live workouts every month, and we have a library of different resources I've created that we've created like 25 different videos on kettlebell basics. Just learn kettlebells. Here you go. If you've never had a coach before, like here's a great place to start to just learn how to properly do a swing, squat, push, pull, you know, row thing, all the basic kettlebell movements, cleans and snatches and all that stuff. So that's all available in the gold membership. And then beyond that, we've got one-on-one coaching. So if someone's looking for a custom program, we can do that. We also have more immersive coaching. So if someone wants to like really have the guidance and constant communication with a coach, and they're really looking for like that immersive coaching experience, we offer that as well. It's significantly more expensive, but for someone that's just looking to get some guidance, having a group, supportive group and accountability, access to our app, all of that's all going to be found in the gold membership.
Sounds great. So five coffees, and you could actually get in shape.
Absolutely.
Five Starbucks coffees, and you'll be in shape.
Exactly. I mean, you still have to do the work, but yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I really appreciate you being here today, and I'm glad we were able to finally get in touch. Anything else you want to say to finish off?
No, if people are interested, they can reach me or they can access the gold membership and all the information there at semperstronger.com. And then you can reach me on Instagram at rebecca.rouse or at semperstronger. And we're always available to answer questions and support our military, first responders, and civilians.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoy that heat down there. All right.
Oh, sure will.
Need anything, let me know. Okay.
Roger that. Thank you.
Have a good day. All right. Take care. Bye.
See ya.